they're still really well-loved songs. So, you know what I mean? So it's a bit tough to articulate and really pinpoint the principles and say, this. If you want to write a hit song, you know, go from point 1 to 10, and that'll get you a hit song. It doesn't quite work like that. So, you know, I have to sort of say that. But, you know, when we're talking about a successful song, one analogy I like to use when I'm talking about what makes a song successful. And I like to put it this way. If I write a song and I can make you feel something with the song, it's successful. For me, that's a successful song. So if I picked up my guitar right now and played you one of my songs, and I, you know, wrote a song about, you know, my Monza Spider that I had in high school, my car, and how much I loved that car, and how it had a nice spider on the hood, and it was a gold metallic paint job, and it was really loud and really fast, and I got a lot of speeding tickets, and they took my license away, and I got in trouble for it. But if I wrote a song about that car, and at the end of the song, or halfway through the song, you guys started really, you know, wishing that you had a car like that. Or, you know, or really feel like you really understand what I'm going through and I miss my car, you know, and this guy, and so by the end of the song, you know, you want to go out and buy a car, you know, or buy a car magazine where that car is in it, you know. There's something that has twigged in you to make you enter in, or to make you sort of share in my experience as a Monza Spider lover. Had a 305 in it with dual exhaust and 4-barrel carb, you know, all that stuff. So at the end of the song, you're just, you know, you never cared about cars before. But when I sang you my song, all of a sudden, you're just in love with this car. At least for a few minutes. You know, after a while, you're going to forget about it. But just for that one moment in time, you really liked, you know, you really entered into what I was talking about. And if I can get you to do that, then I've written a successful song, right? That's sort of the bottom line. Because music really is an emotional language, isn't it? If it doesn't get anything across to you emotionally, it's failed, right? I mean, you can have a catchy tune and a really good rhythm and stuff, and you know, but it might, even that might not impact you emotionally. And that's really what music is all about. And many art forms are like that. They impact you actually. They sort of even bypass your mind and go straight to your heart, to your spirit. Isn't that right? So that's on a basic level. If I can get you to feel something when you hear my song, happiness, anger, lament, whatever the emotion that I'm trying to get across, if I can make you accept maybe, you know, revulsion for my song, I don't want to get you to feel that, but anything, if I can get you to feel something, then I've written a good song. And that's why, you know, when rock and roll sort of came onto the scene, especially mid-60s, early 60s, you know, when the Beatles invaded North America, you know, their music had something that, there was a buoyancy there, there was something about it that made people, you know, and then later on as it got a little bit more boisterous, a little bit more rebellious, a little bit more, you know, angst in it, you know, I'm thinking like during the days of Woodstock or something, you know, it was a perfect medium to express those kinds of emotions. Even today there are certain emotions that rock and roll music expresses. I mean, rock and roll music can go from really happy to really tension-filled to really sort of sad to really angry, all those, you know, and that's why I believe that rock music got so popular, because it was such a vehicle, it was such a passionate vehicle for all those emotions. So there's an element of success on a song on a basic level if you can get, if you're a songwriter whose goal in life is to create, you know, good art, you may have a different agenda than the one who's out to make a hit, you know, but sometimes the two agendas mix and become one, but sometimes they don't always. To me, a successful song, I can hear a song on the radio that's become a huge hit, and it just does nothing for me. And I'll just go, I don't care how many MTV awards this song, it just does not hit me at all. I'll just turn the thing off, like this, you know. It didn't hit me, sorry. And then I go to some coffee house concert and somebody's up there with an nylon string guitar playing, you know, singing their heart out, some tune that they wrote in their bedroom, never ever got recorded. And it just goes right here, and I go, that's successful. That is a song, right? You understand what I mean? Does that make sense? What's the difference between a well-written song and one that is not? Not an easy question to answer, I've already said. However, one of the first things that you could look at and say that usually a well-written song is a song that's been written by somebody who's good at songwriting. It's a song usually written by somebody who has got not only the aptitude for writing, but has taken the time to develop their craft. Songwriting is a craft, just like anything else. born with the talent and born with the aptitude, but it is really up to you to develop it like anything else. So now to unpackage that a little bit more is what we really want to do today. What's the difference between a well-written song and one that's not? So we have to sort of deal with it in a couple of sort of different ways. Number one, I want to talk about the song form. Now, some of you who've been writing songs for a long time, this is going to become, you're going to already know a lot of this stuff, or maybe have never been taught on it, but you're already going, oh yeah, I never thought about that before, but I already knew that, right? Number one is the song form. A successful song has an architectural structure. For all you keeners who are writing things down, there's a good one for you right now. A successful song has an architectural structure. It builds something or goes somewhere. And this infrastructure is called song form. It's the way the song is shaped or organized. The most common song form is what most songwriters in the industry call an A-B form. Anybody know what A-B means? Not the ones who were at my previous workshop.
Verse, chorus.
No, not you. I already taught you this. Verse, chorus, verse, chorus.
Anyone need paper at all to write anything? It's right here.
This is where the song is divided into like two parts, and it's probably one of the most common forms of songs. There's the verse and the chorus, and that's a very simple A-B chorus. But at least the song has some sort of structure. So A is the verse. B, we're going to describe what a verse and what a chorus is in a minute. Sometimes the A-B form repeats the chorus at the end of the song, so the final form actually looks like, I've written many songs like this, A-B. You understand that? So that means it's just a repeated chorus at the end. You're going to hear a lot of songs now that sort of think about this. You'll notice a lot of songs do this. Another common form is the A-B form, or verse 1, and then verse 2. Right away comes verse 2, and then a chorus, and then verse 3. That's another common form. There's all kinds of song forms. There's the one I like to use too is A-B-C. No, does anybody know what I mean by that? C is what they call a bridge.
Or middle eight.
Middle 8 is another word for it, yeah. I've written middle 12, actually. There's all kinds of different types of bridges. So this just means there's a verse, there's a chorus, there's a verse, a chorus, and then the writer will throw in a bridge all of a sudden to change things up a little bit, to have just a little section of the song that's related to the other ones but are saying different things musically. And then they'll maybe go back to the chorus to end the song, or whatever, a guitar solo or something, or some instrumental to go. Another common form is, well, not as common these days, but it's an A form, which means it's just verse after verse and no chorus. Can anybody tell me a song like that? Anybody think of a song? Hymns are written like that. Church hymns are all written, the older ones are written like that. How about a more common or a more modern song? Anybody can tell? Oh, Canada? I think you're right, yeah.
Or it could be under that Cyril by
Yes, that's one. A lot of folk songs are written like that. Older folk songs. Ode to Billy Joe is written like that. There are other forms of songs that you can use, but the important thing to remember is that your song must have some kind of logical structure if you want people to grasp it. It's like if you've ever taken those tests in I think it was grade 6 math, where they go, they give you, here's number 1, here's number 3, here's number 9, and they leave the next one blank. And you're supposed to guess what that number is, which is 12. I barely made it to grade 9 loser math. They had, in high school, they had, people who were really good at algebra, and then they had, like, people who were so good at math, and then they had, like, the other ones. And they took, like, a special course in math. That was me. We called it loser math. Anyways, it's important that people, because the ear wants to have anticipation and then a fulfillment of that anticipation. So even on the first listen of the song, of your song, it should be that people are, this all happens at a really subconscious sort of level, but the ear must the person listening to your song for the first time, it's like you want to build into them an anticipation. Here comes the chorus. Okay, there's the chorus, the verse. And now they're listening to the verse, and inside there's a little part of their brain going, the chorus must be coming. You know? And so then the chorus comes, and then there's sort of a subconscious sort of, there's the chorus, you know. And if the chorus doesn't come, and you throw something else totally unexpected, you have to be careful how you use that, because it can be very jarring and very sort of, that, I didn't like that part of the song. Or if it's done exactly right, it might be something that's, you might throw something in there that's, even more catchier than what was gone before, and then people go, that's kind of a cool part, right? So you have to be careful about that kind of stuff. But the important thing to remember is it has to have some kind of architecture.